So, where's Lucas?
He's over at the draft, tying up some loose ends.
Loose ends? What loose ends? It's starting now.
Dad, relax. Los Angeles already told Lucas they'd pick me. First round. Right?
Right.
We changed our mind. We're going with Sharif. Teddy hit 20 points better, 6 more home runs, 4 fewer errors.
It's the eye.
I know it's the eye. Obviously, it's the eye.
We spoke to the league. They
It
don't want...
violates the rules. We know that, but it doesn't make him faster. It doesn't make him stronger.
No, it makes him bionic.
Welcome to LASN. We're live from the 78th Annual Baseball Draft, waiting the first draft pick for Los Angeles.
I remember watching Mitchie Taylor deal at 10-40 right here in this building to win the Golden Skateboarding Competition.
Hard to believe it's been 18 years.
Just like Mitchie, somebody's life is going to change in this building today.
You got that right, Danny.
Yes, I do.
Heading now to the podium.
All right, here we go now.
Is the general manager of Los Angeles.
Los Angeles selects from the University of Mumbai, Vijay Sharif.
What the hell just happened here?
That's right. Plenty of other teams. Plenty of other teams. It's early on. Lucas has a handle on it, don't worry.
But this is a break for you. Teddy Pickens a great shortstop. Everybody knows you need a shortstop. Ever since he was a kid, Teddy's wanted to play in New York. Teddy's wanted to play in Miami, to play in San Antonio.
Yeah. All right, gotcha.
Good news.
Yeah, there are 4 selections left.
Please select Andrew Unger.
3.
You're an expansion franchise. You know what this could mean to you.
Pissing off the league on our first day? Yeah, I got a pretty good idea.
We spoke to all of you? That's collusion.
They reminded us of league rules. That's common sense.
Look, if I win this case, you've got a shortstop that can hit for average and for power. If I lose, you've wasted a 20th round draft pick. Do you think your fans care if the league's pissed off?
The 563rd draft pick, Rick Jones.
We have a long drive. Do you think we could...
No, Dad. We're staying.
The San Fernando Valley Coyotes select in the 564th selection of the 2030 draft, Teddy Pickens.
Good job, boy. Good job.
Hey, kid. You did it.
Yeah. All I gotta do now is sue baseball. The kid was 18. He was helping his father string an electric fence on their farm when the line snapped.
Took out both his eyes?
No, just the left one.
They made neural connections directly into his cerebral cortex. Could have lost his vision entirely. It could have been brain damage.
You can be an accountant, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, but you can't play baseball with one eye without depth perception. He risked his life for this chance.
What an idiot.
That was helpful.
Tom, it's established law. The league can set whatever eligibility rules it wants.
When I was 8 years old, I had to have my gallbladder replaced. Does that mean I shouldn't be allowed to play baseball?
Well, that and the fact that you throw like a girl.
Like that?
So what? So you can say no blacks, no Hindus?
Draft up a constitutional amendment protecting the rights of bionically enhanced people. But once we get that through the Senate, the president's signature should not be that hard to get. The only stumbling block might be getting 39 states to ratify it, though. It took 60 years to pass the Equal Rights Amendment. The good news is, people like robots more than they like women.
I'm not asking him to let in someone who can throw a ball 200 miles an hour or run to first base in 2 seconds. Teddy doesn't have any enhancement beyond normal human skill level.
So you're arguing fairness?
I'm making an equitable claim that the rule is currently enforced against my client is counter to public policy based on society's interest in encouraging diversity.
So you're telling the court that you have absolutely no legal basis for this cause of action, but you really think it's not a nice rule.
I likely won't phrase it that way.
You have something better, Marty.
Teddy's not bionic. He's disabled.
Disabled? He's got a state-of-the-art eye.
Let me put it another way. If he's disabled, the Americans with Disabilities Act gives him employment protection that the league cannot overrule. Poor farm kid, lost an eye. It's tragic.
They say I'm in breach of contract.
You should not be speaking to our client without counsel present.
I was talking to my client.
Guys, this meeting is over.
Our marriage contract said no family.
I thought you didn't have a family.
There's 6 of us.
Your client invited his parents, his grandfather, and his great-grandmother to live with them.
His ancestors. 4 ancestors? That's the family we're talking about?
Obviously, the marriage contract contemplated children.
His parents and grandparents are just like having children. How tough would it have been to get them out to save our marriage?
They had no savings left, Donna. When they grew up, they didn't expect to live to 112.
None of this matters. They're not family.
His parents aren't family?
There are places.
Institutions.
Well, then we could find them a better place.
They're my family.
Okay, that was stupid. But this is a settlement conference, so nothing said in here is admissible. Did I call you?
No, sir.
And do you like your job?
No, sir. That's why I came back in. Your phone is ringing, and I quit.
Motion to dismiss. You can't be surprised, Mr. Gold. Your guy isn't handicapped, he's enhanced.
He lost an eye.
And got one back. The Americans with Disabilities Act is completely inapplicable here.
Well, too bad the words of the act are right on point. A disability is to be assessed without regard to the availability of mitigating measures.
That eye isn't a mitigating measure, it's a cure.
Well, even if it is, section 12926 sub K. If someone discriminates against you because you used to be disabled, that's enough.
We're not discriminating against him because he was disabled for a couple of hours. Our concern is merely with the equipment used.
So people who lose their eyes are free to play baseball as long as they don't do anything about it. And that's not discriminating against the disabled?
Mr. Atwell, your motion to dismiss is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Keep the champagne chilling, Mr. Gold. I'm finding that your client is disabled because I can't come up with a legal reason not to. But baseball can't be forced to hire players who are in wheelchairs.
My client is capable of fulfilling all job requirements as contemplated by the ADA.
My point is, the league is entitled to deny access to the disabled if they have a legitimate business reason. I trust you have one of those, Mr. Atwell.
Yes, Your Honor.
I look forward to hearing it.
Well, congratulations. You've just won the right to lose a trial.
I know that neither of you guys think that these marriage contract terms mean anything because you're just always gonna love each other, right?
Everybody says that, huh?
Yep.
They do, and everybody means it, which is one of the really nice parts of this job.
Holy mother.
Pause.
Was he being sarcastic or was he playing it?
I've been watching this for 20 minutes, and I have no idea.
Play.
Okay, this agreement, I believe, helps define what this marriage means to you guys.
This was 8 years
Right?
ago?
It's your hopes, it's your dreams,
Darwin did their prenup.
it's your plans for your life together.
Pause.
Has anyone else seen this?
I'll share with you in my experience that respect seems to come a lot easier before the little ones come along. So it's something that we might want to be real clear about.
We're not going to have any kids.
Really? I mean,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
decided that. You can't have kids, or you don't.
We don't want kids.
You don't want kids.
Yeah.
He's devastated.
It's forgive me. I mean, it's just it's very rare. I mean, most.
Can we get Scotty to blow this up? Because I think I see a tear.
Had really. Pause. Everybody pitching in on Lee May's research? That's so nice.
So in all of your pre-marriage discussions with the couple, the word family only comes up in the context of children.
Motion for summary judgments tomorrow. The fact that they have no case should make it easier for you.
For me,
I have to interview assistants. Tough to tell from a resume who's hot.
I'm going to assume that's a joke.
We interviewed you, didn't we? Anything else?
Yeah. What happened to you?
Well, I'm the same person deep inside. If only there was someone I could let myself be vulnerable with.
Thanks for sharing.
I got tired.
You don't get enough of this at training camp?
Nope. Not at training camp. Commissioner called up the Coyotes and told them that my presence was a violation of league rules.
I'm sorry.
But I hear we won in court today. Pause. Want to hit a couple? I mean, I can turn it down for you if you like.
I don't really play.
It's kind of crazy, huh? An 18-year-old kid risking his life and going to court just to play a game.
You don't have to justify your decisions to me, Teddy.
What do lawyers fantasize about?
Arguing a case before the Supreme Court.
Then what happens?
9 of the greatest legal minds firing questions at me firing back, ripping opposing counsel's brilliant argument to shreds.
What's the case about?
I don't know.
But it doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's about doing something the best, competing against the best. You know that feeling? Just knowing that you're really, really great at something. Imagine if you could never have that feeling again. One pitch. One inning. It's my dream.
I'll get you there.
I have an opening in my calendar starting next Thursday.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but we need more time to prepare our witnesses.
You think you'll be able to squeeze us in before the playoffs?
We have doctors whose testimony.
It's your rule. You initiated 22 years ago. Are you telling this court that you're not ready yet to argue it's fair?
Next Thursday it is. Any other housekeeping matters?
We move for an order compelling the league to allow our client to practice with the Coyotes pending the outcome of this trial.
Your Honor, this is a publicity stunt. They figured a kid gets into exhibition games, hits a few homers, gets some good press, and then we're gonna buckle under the pressure.
Interesting. I was actually thinking about the law. If the league wins, there's no real damage from allowing Mr. Pakin to throw the ball around. But if we win or our client's been denied proper practice, it'll be impossible for him to compete.
Let him practice.
He just wants to play one inning, huh?
Let's hope exhibition games count.
Your Honor, the facts are not in dispute in this matter. I am therefore asking for a directed verdict based on a finding of fault against the applicant as having terminated the marriage without grounds.
You're very young and very pretty.
Your Honor?
The pretty part isn't really relevant, but the young part. This is family court. Relax and stop talking like that.
Okay, Your Honor.
Your position is?
That the word family as used in the contract only contemplated children. The nature...
I got it. And your position is?
That the court shouldn't get hung up on the age of the family.
Okay. Discuss.
The intent of the contract was simple. To ensure a life together. Alone.
The contract prohibited them from having a family. If that included parents, they already had them. They were in breach since birth. Also, Taylor v. Taylor stands for the proposition that any ambiguity should be resolved in the manner most consistent.
Interesting. We're going to have an evidentiary hearing to determine what family means.
To whom?
To me. And all I want to know is who I should sympathize with. Who's reasonable and who's wrong.
Teddy's mechanical eye was originally developed as a cure for macular degeneration.
But it could be used to correct any vision problems, or even if there were no problems at all.
It'd be foolish. The hardware has to be implanted directly into the visual neocortex. Anytime you cut into the brain, it's risky.
But you operated on Teddy.
I strongly counseled him against the surgery. I made him wait 3 weeks to reconsider, think about going blind, or worse. I insisted on a psych exam, but ultimately he wanted to play baseball.
And what's the visual acuity of this piece of equipment?
Theoretically, he could have been able to see craters on the moon, but Teddy insisted we set it at the level of his previous eyesight.
Exhibits 1 through 17. Eye test for Mr. Paikin from the age of 5 up to last Thursday. Why did Teddy insist on that setting?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
Fine, we all know the answer anyway. The kid didn't want an unfair advantage.
Your Honor.
I'm making a finding that I'm not an idiot and ordering you to stop treating me like one.
Pardon me, Your Honor. No further questions for this witness.
No questions. I had Tommy John surgery 11 years ago.
I see. And that was before you became a pitcher with the Havana Expos.
Yes, I was a freshman in high school.
Do you know who Tommy John is?
I assume he's the doctor who first did it.
No. He was a professional baseball player, just like yourself. A forearm tendon was removed and used to repair a torn elbow tendon. Now, was your elbow tendon damaged or torn in any way?
No, coach said I needed a better fastball.
Did it work?
I went from 87 to 96 miles per hour after the rehab.
Rehab? Well, don't they just put in an artificial tendon and you're ready to go?
No, the surgery's still done the old way.
Really? 50 years later, they're still doing this the same barbaric way. 6 weeks rehab instead of 2 hours. Why?
As long as they use natural tendons, I'm still allowed to play baseball.
Your Honor, I fail to see the relevance of this line of testimony.
By 2003, Your Honor, 50% of professional pitchers had had this surgery. Now it's close to 95% in high school.
Interesting factoid.
It made pitchers stronger, faster, unafraid. It just changed the nature of the game, that's all.
We cannot ban all surgery.
Just ban surgeries that save people's vision, that's it.
We can ban artificial devices.
Artificial devices, I see. Like glasses and contact lenses? You don't ban those from Major League Baseball?
You're an ass.
You came down here to tell me I'm an ass?
I came to tell you that the assistant you fired last week,
He quit.
and the one you fired yesterday,
Now, that guy was getting on my nerves.
and the 4 others you've had in the last year have gotten together to seek a judicial ruling that you're an ass.
They're suing me?
No, they're suing us.
Because I'm an ass?
That's a word they use repeatedly.
A recent Ninth Circuit ruling expanded the realm of employment discrimination, and it implied that you have the right not to have an ass for a boss.
So we fight it.
What, on the basis that you're not an ass?
No, on the basis it's a stupid law. Let's say that I am an ass.
Okay.
So I shouldn't be allowed to employ people?
I believe the counter-argument would be stop being such an ass.
I don't want to change. Why should I have to? I like who I am.
Oh, you like being abusive. That's good defense.
Tom, look, I didn't punch anyone. I didn't slap anyone. I didn't sexually harass. I didn't assault anyone.
Yeah, you just made it miserable.
And they exercise their right to quit and get another job.
Exactly.
Oh, you think he's right? You think we should fight this?
Yes, but no. I mean, we need assistance. We need paralegals. Decent ones will be impossible to find if Darwin's personality becomes a public matter. We're gonna settle this thing.
Yeah, but you're gonna pay for it.
Do you think you're a better player as a result of your eye surgery?
Yes, but not because of the eye, because everything I went through. I mean, before my accident, there were plenty of guys I played with that were stronger, faster, and even better than me.
But you're better than those guys now.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because I want to be. I mean, I know baseball is just a game, but there is something really beautiful about it. I mean, it's pure, simple, and fair.
And you didn't see that before?
No, not really. I mean, after my accident, I was in bed for 6 months. And then I spent about 12 hours a day working out just to get back in shape. So before, I never really wanted to practice. And now I'm grateful.
Thank you.
If you love baseball so much, why do you want to destroy it?
Objection, argumentative.
You mind asking something a little more specific?
What do you think will happen if you win this lawsuit?
I'll get to play baseball.
Just you? What about all the other disabled people out there? What about a player with prosthetic legs?
Well, I guess so, if he can play baseball.
There's a kid in Tennessee. He's got lab-grown muscles and tendons, lets him run 45 miles an hour, jump 10 feet in the air. Is he part of the game you love?
Well, we're not saying you should.
Well, maybe he gets his arms done, too. How well do you think you'll hit against a guy who can throw a curveball at 160 miles an hour? What about a kid who pokes out his eye deliberately so he can have vision like the great Teddy Paykin?
My vision isn't changed.
His will be.
Well, then you can set a rule.
We have a rule.
I'm sorry. I couldn't find my glasses.
Pause. Objection, Your Honor. Look, we're going to need an expert witness in here to testify that these home security recordings haven't been tampered with. There is video of my colleague here having sex with several women at the same time, okay? It was very easy to make.
You're older than her, and you're not nearly as good looking, but you get the same hang-up about the law.
Sorry, must have picked it up in law school.
Play.
Grandpa, come on, time to get up.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry, I'll clean it up.
What is wrong with you?
James.
That's fine. You hate me. Do you hate them too?
Our life was over. All we talked about, all we dealt with was your family. I mean, they were always there. They were always needing something. Except for the ages, it was no different than having kids.
Well, you could always tell yourself it'll get better when they die.
What's going on here?
A demonstration.
Judges hate cheap theatrics.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say cheap theatrics? I meant to say a demonstration.
I love demonstrations. They make things so much easier to understand. What have we got here?
That plate is exactly 62 feet from this mound. The big league distance since 2024. I would like to ask Mr. Gold to step into the batter's box.
Your Honor, the plaintiff's attorneys are not baseball players.
You don't have to hit anything. All you have to do is say swing or no swing.
Get someone else.
Anyone else you'd accuse of being a plant.
All you have to do is say swing or no swing.
You ready?
Whatever.
Wow.
You have 15 thousandths of a second to decide whether to swing at a pitch.
All professional athletes have 15 thousandths of a second. Time doesn't slow down because you've got wires in your eye.
Oh, it sort of does. As Dr. Sugarman testified, your client's mechanical eye bypasses his optic nerve and is directly connected to his neural cortex.
That gives him an advantage over other professional athletes because
He has 20 thousandths of a second to react to a pitch. It isn't the eye that makes the difference. It's the wiring.
We're talking thousandths of a second here. That's the difference between nothing and slightly more than nothing.
It's a 33% difference. That's the difference of taking 8 seconds to reach first base and 6 seconds. The first guy bats 300. Second guy bats 700 and sprints into the Hall of Fame.
We're offering each of you 6 weeks severance pay and full settlement.
Ooh, so close. Now, if you'd only said months instead of weeks.
Can we at least keep this in the realm of the reasonable?
This is 6 months of their salaries, not yours. You'll hardly notice it.
Okay. This has been fun. Yeah? Okay. Darlene, you feel abused, right? You want to spit in my coffee. Fine. You win. Miles, you scream and you rant about everything, but then you always turn around and decide it's all your fault, don't you? Okay, so why don't you just take the money now before you change your mind? Good. Okay. The rest of you, we're going to pull this offer off the table and walk out of here, okay? And if you don't make smelly pants right now, you're going to wake up tonight like 8 times screaming in cold sweats, terrified that you're going to lose everything, okay? So why don't we just sort of circumvent all that pain? Take the 6 weeks.
He made me put in 6 hours of overtime the night before my wedding.
You got paid for it, time and a half.
Do you know what I was doing? Tracking down some girl who wouldn't return his calls.
He called me fat.
I didn't call you fat. I do recall a client calling you fat, and I relayed the information to you because I was...
Okay, we get the idea. Okay, we get the idea. 8 weeks. But we need a non-disclosure agreement from each of you.
No way.
We're not signing anything.
This is a subpoena for all relevant records and internal firm recordings.
Which we know will include a bunch of times that you all called him an ass.
Now let's see.
Interesting case.
Trying to prove that parents are not as much of a burden as children are. Grandma's making dinner.
¿Crees que se acostó con ella?
Bueno, si no lo hizo, es idiota.
¿Está casado?
Me refiero a su inteligencia, no su moralidad. Sí, está casi perfecta, ¿verdad? ¿Piensas que tuvo una ayudita, un arreglo, algo?
Seguro que sí.
¿Lo sabes?
No hace nada.
No en balde que no llegaste a gobernador. No tienes idea de cómo mentir. ¿Senos, pechos?
Me imagino todo.
¿Qué dices?
Lime es parte del proyecto genético.
Cool.
Anyone talk to them about reconciliation?
That's not our job.
No, I suppose not.
You don't believe in divorce?
I believe in commitment.
So does our client. So you would stay with your wife even if you were miserable?
I'm not miserable.
It was a hypothetical.
If we only stood by the people who made us blissfully happy, the word commitment would be kind of meaningless.
So that's what marriage is supposed to be. A test.
Everything's a test. Of who we are. Of what sort of character we have. Wouldn't you do the right thing? Even if you knew there was a price to be paid?
Well, what about happiness?
If you don't live up to what you believe in, you'll be miserable. Right? There's sex on your screen. Pause.
Play. Back 30 seconds.
You know, Lima, probably be a whole lot easier if you just turned the video off and undid another button. I love kissing. It's the promise of what's to come. Which weirdly makes it so much better than what's to come. Don't you think?
Not even close. Zoom. Volume 7.
Oh, all right, honey.
What? I love you too.
No. Listen, listen. I didn't take my pill.
Oh, okay.
Pause. She kept going. She didn't care if he took his birth control pill, which means at that moment she was ready to have a child, which we can legally argue means she agreed to amend the marriage contract, deleting the no family clause.
So, with the no family provision gone, she can't claim our client is in breach for bringing his family home.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Play.
Lots of press for spring training. Hope he can handle the pressure.
How about we do a demonstration?
Great. Of what?
I don't know. Maybe we play a tone. First for 15, then for 20 thousandths of a second. No way anybody could tell the difference.
But there is a difference. It's opening a Pandora's box.
I always thought the point of that story was that there was no way to keep it closed.
Take him out.
Hey, come on.
Why don't you just get a new arm?
Not a teacher.
Hey.
Hi, Teddy.
How are you guys? How you feeling? You ready for opening day?
The doctor says I'm gonna have to miss a few games.
I'm not asking you, doctor.
It's gonna be a lot worse than what we thought, huh?
Yes, that's how it works, yeah.
I don't know how much fun it's gonna be when everybody's trying to take my head off.
There's no point in playing a game if it's not fun, right? You know who Jackie Robinson was?
Yeah, of course.
You know why Branch Rickey chose him to be the first black ball player in the major leagues?
Well, because he was the best.
No, because Branch knew it was going to be a crap storm. Spikings were just the start. There were separate hotels, separate restaurants, racial epithets, protests, death threats. Branch knew that if he picked someone who'd fold, that'd be all over. Robinson was a strong ball player, oh yes. But he was an even stronger person.
He was fighting for something.
Wait, baby. Hey, look, I forgot to take my pill.
Pause. Pretty damning.
Things you said when you're horny were legally binding. The world would be seriously messed up.
True.
No birth control. That means she wants children.
She doesn't want children.
It's right there on the screen.
That's not what's on the screen.
That is what's on the screen.
You want a baby?
This is a settlement conference. Nothing said in here.
Shh.
I want to start a family of our own.
Donna, you don't just start a family. You continue one.
All that time, all that attention. It doesn't belong to the parents. It belongs to children.
%50%. Equal shares.
James, there's
No,
need to
it's
give
as much my fault as it is hers.
You don't need to give her anything. Look, I made 2 mistakes on the original marriage contract. 1, I should have defined family way more clearly. Stupid. 2, I should have got everybody's signature. Okay, all 6 of you. So this time, I'm going to do it right. And you're all going to remain family. I'm going to draw up a new contract. It's going to clearly lay out everybody's responsibilities and their limits. Okay, Donna is not a maid. She is, however, a daughter-in-law, which means occasionally having to drive family members to the doctor. On the other hand, she's also a wife, which means that your bedroom is off limits every night to everyone but yourselves after, I don't know, 10 o'clock?
10's good.
And Sunday mornings.
And Sunday mornings.
And we can get a legal obligation for my dad to do the 4 a.m. feeding.
I love you.
I missed you.
You haven't changed that much in the last 8 years, have you?
I'm lately, man. You have a point, get to it.
What you did for that couple, that was sweet.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You're sweet.
You're gonna sleep with me if I am?
Yes, because I sleep with all sweet men. I'm a nice slut.
That case was over. Our bill was gonna be the same whether those 2 kissed and made up or not. The only difference now is we get a whole nother retainer. 6-party marriage contract, it's gotta be 100 hours in billings easy. Don't you think? Now that's sweet.
No matter what settlement we propose, you're gonna reject any non-disclosure agreement, aren't you?
Your offer was insulting.
You rejected the money. They rejected the non-disclose.
Sorry I'm late.
I'm sure you are.
I do have a practice, Miles.
I'm just saying you're not sorry.
Point taken.
He's evil, isn't he? And there's a principle here. People should be warned about him. We still need a non-disclosure agreement.
No way.
We'll offer you 4 weeks severance pay.
4 weeks?
And we'll make a commitment that no one will ever have to suffer like you have ever again.
You're gonna fire him?
He'd just find another job and hire another assistant.
So I'm just promising to be nice.
No, you're never gonna abuse an assistant again because you're never gonna have an assistant again. I won't let you hire one.
4 weeks is less than you offered yesterday.
Do up the paperwork.
We agree.
The thing about rules is that they are a little arbitrary. Why not 4 strikes? Why not spread the foul lines out a little bit? It's 403 feet to the right field wall at Coyote Stadium. Why not 400 even? You hit a ball 402 feet, that's the difference between being a hero and being a goat. Is that fair? I don't know. But it is baseball. You don't go to court because the sun gets in your eye. You don't go to court because somebody makes a lucky catch. You're just out. Is this rule fair to you? Maybe not. But without rules, without this rule, there are no limits on who can play or what. And with no limits, there's no more game. There's no baseball.
Five 1/1000ths of a second. It's as close to nothing as you can get. But it's not nothing. Teddy does have an advantage. Ted Williams had an extra split second, too, because he could read the ball in flight. But you know who else could read the ball in flight? Bill Sobel. And nobody ever heard of him because he was a lousy baseball player. It's not what skills you're blessed with, it's what you do with them. And if you think Teddy Paikin is a great baseball player because of 5/1000ths of a second, you don't know baseball. And yes, we need rules, but when we start making rules about who is human and who is less than human, we're heading for a very dark and ugly place. And here's one thing I know for sure. Teddy Paikin is more human than the fan who tossed a bottle at him at practice today, or the player who tried to take him out of the game 2 days ago. But hey, I guess the rule said it was okay for him to do that.
Look, Hannah, I need an assistant.
No, you don't.
I need someone to answer my
Your
telephone.
phones will be answered.
To schedule my appointments.
Your appointments will be scheduled, your filing will be filed, your documents will be delivered, your Mother's Day presents will be bought and wrapped.
Where is it?
It's loading.
Okay, what's it gonna look like?
Whatever you want it to look like.
Look, Hannah, the reality is I cannot deal with a computerized assistant.
No, the reality is you can't deal with a human assistant.
That's what I need, okay? I need someone to abuse. I need that vent. Keeps me level.
Kick a wall.
It'll answer phones, bring up files, draft letters without spelling mistakes. It can do pretty much anything a human assistant can do.
Can it lie?
In 207 languages.
Ted Paikin's artificial eye gives him an advantage when playing baseball. And that advantage, that 5/1000ths of a second, is not de minimis. It's not as big an advantage as Charlie Wyatt had. In 1875, he was playing first base for the St. Louis Brown Stockings, and he used a mechanical device. He used a glove. The fans ridiculed him, but after nearly a century and a half, it doesn't seem to have killed the game. It's my ruling that Ted Paikin's disability should not prevent him from playing baseball. And playing shortstop for your San Fernando Valley, Teddy